April is National Donate Life Month, time to encourage Americans to register as organ, eye, and tissue donors.
Lend a Hand's Shannon Bonetti introduces us to a local organ recipient who is taking us along his healing journey.
Dan Marriott is a walking, talking miracle, a recipient of a life-saving treatment.
It was a little over 7, almost 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with fatty liver disease, which then turned into cirrhosis, and I was told I needed a liver transplant.
And so began the waiting game. Every person's journey of transplantation is unique, but for Dan, it was especially difficult.
That was the hardest part, because when I was diagnosed and told that, is basically, you have to get a liver, you have to get on the list, or else you're going to die.
The list, formerly known as the National Transplant Waiting List, an ever-growing database with more than 100,000 names on it at any given time.
And when you're in the process, they want you as healthy as possible to be put on the list, but you got to be really sick once you're on the list to get it. So it's like a catch-22, where do I go?
His focus became getting on that list. He underwent evaluations and had several hospital stays before being told he eventually made it. Only to find out days later, the liver harvested for him wasn't any good.
So then I was told, no, we don't have a liver for you, you'll have to wait. They got one Sunday. So my story, I got so sick, and this was the 12th of November, they said I would not have lived to Thanksgiving. So I went from not on the list to the very top of the list. So the first liver that was available in that region was mine.
Now, with a new lease on life, Dan has become an ambassador for Donor Network West, encouraging others to give the gift of life.
You know, there's so many things that people would miss out on without people stepping up and offering. Obviously, I wouldn't be here. I have 3 daughters. When I got home, I had a new baby granddaughter born, and you know, things like that that I wouldn't have experienced, and have a new one on the way right now. So things like that, that's, you know, it's family. It's you know, things like that. So.
Oh, Dan is just such a wonderful guy. It was such a pleasure interviewing him. I'm joined now by Candy Cadler with Donor Network West to tell us a little bit more about becoming a donor and how easy it really is.
It is easy. So anyone can register as a donor. Anyone at all can register, and you can do it easily at the DMV the next time you get your driver's license. We have a relationship with iPhone, so the little heart, the health app.
Oh, yeah.
When you set up a medical ID, it's like the second question they ask you if you'd like to register as a donor, or you can go online to registerme.org. So there are a lot of different ways that someone can register as a donor.
So there are a lot of misconceptions, I think, when people think about donating, and clear some of those up for us.
Yes, so the number one thing I hear in the community is I can't register as a donor because I have whatever chronic condition, I'm too old, I've had cancer, fill in the blank. People will rule themselves out for being able to be a donor. And the truth is the criteria to be a donor is always changing. So maybe something that would have ruled someone out as a donor a couple of years ago, now they can be a donor and potentially save someone's life. So anyone can register as a donor. That's the number one thing I hear.
Something that really stuck with me when I was talking to Dan was he was saying that he's met a lot of really wonderful people, other recipients like himself. And it sounds like what you guys do is also provide a lot of support and community support. Talk about that.
Absolutely. So we have a great network of ambassadors that volunteer in our community, both with Donor Network West. There's another great support group, Sierra Nevada Donor Awareness. So just a great network of people who are organ recipients, people who have lost a loved one who became a donor, so donor families, other people who are currently waiting for a transplant. And so they all just provide a lot of support to each other. So it's a great group to be a part of.
And when we're talking about something so serious like this, it's important to remember, like you were saying, but as we were getting set up here, you really just take every minute of life as this special thing that it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've met some really inspiring recipients who were too sick to do basic things, and now they're just so grateful for the gift of life, and as well as donor families who unfortunately have come face to face with how fragile life can be, here one day and gone the next.
Yeah.
So it's really empowering for them that their loved one, in a sense, lives on in other people.
Totally, a real appreciation for everything that we have.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having us.